Yes, sir. Now your mic is unmute, sir. Pandharipande, sir, your mic is unmute now. Amol Pandharipande, sir, has joined. Kindly make him a co-host. Amol,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
jaldi बोलो.
Madam, 2 minutes.
Sir, kindly unmute now. Pandharipande, sir. मॅडम ते माणूस पण नाही आणि माझा आता एक 2-3 दिवस तर मी फारच बिझी आहे मॅडम आणि तेव्हा जे माणूस येईल तेव्हा त्याचे पासवर्ड हे सर्व त्याच्या जवळच आहे मॅडम. अमोल पंडरी पांडे सर को को होस्ट बनाया, मैं को होस्ट बनाओ अमोल।
यस सर, मैंने बना दिया सर को होस्ट।
सर नाउ ट्राई सर।
आई थिंक सम टेक्निकल इश्यू सर।
सर आप ट्राई करिए ना सर, अभी आपको तो मीटिंग में लेके को होस्ट भी बना दिया सर हमने फिर से। हाँ हाँ। इट इज अ टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम, इवन वी हैव रीस्टार्टेड द मोबाइल ऑल्सो ना सर। अच्छा, वो डिवाइस सेटिंग में अलाउ करना पड़ेगा सर आपको जाकर, वो डिवाइस सेटिंग। जी जी जी। जूम जूम सेट ना, डिवाइस डिवाइस सेटिंग, साउंड साउंड एंड माइक्रोफोन्स उसके अंदर। ओरिजिनल ओरिजिनल। जी जी। नहीं, माइक्रोफोन 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 में जाइए सर। नहीं नहीं सर, इसमें जाइए आप, डिवाइस सेटिंग में जाकर जो है एप्स में जाइए, एप्स में जूम में जाइए। जूम परमिशंस पे जाइए, जूम्स में जाने के बाद में माइक्रोफोन पे क्लिक करिए और अलाउ करिए सर उस पर फिर ऐप में जाइए, ऐप में जाने के बाद में जूम में जाइए। यस, उसके अंदर सर्च करिए ना सर सबसे ऊपर। नहीं, डिफॉल्ट एप्स नहीं, सेटिंग्स में जूम सर्च करिए सर, सेटिंग्स में जूम सर्च करिए। सर सर्च करिए ना सर। अमोल पाटिल सर has joined, make him a co-host.
क्या हुआ ऑफिसर, ज्वाइन नहीं हुए क्या सर अभी?
सर उनके मोबाइल का थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है, रीस्टार्ट करते बोले सर उन्होंने मोबाइल।
अच्छा।
जी जी।
नेट है तो लैपटॉप से भी कर सकते सर।
हाँ बोला सर मैं उनको वैसे।
ओके।
सर ज्वाइन हो चुके सर पंढरपाठ से।
अमोल माइक ऑन हो रहा है क्या, देखो उनका।
नहीं सर।
हाँ बोलिए। Amol, you can start the banner in university song. Amol.
या सर, स्टूडेंट।
गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे,
गीत आमुचे सागराचे, इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे, गीत आमुचे जागराचे, गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे, गीत आमुचे सागराचे, इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे, गीत आमुचे जागराचे.
अभंगाचे ओवीचेही माय बोलीचे माहेर,
वाऱ्यातही मराठीचे दिवे लख घरोघर. संत महंतांचे विरागी, गीत आमुचे कागडाचे, इतिहासाचे तंतु तंतु संघर्षाचा पैठणीत भिनलेला
नक्षीतच पक्षी पक्षी विजयाचा मिळलेला
सोन पहाट उदयाचे गीत आमुचे उजेडाचे इतिहासाचे जनामनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे प्रज्ञेचा सूर्य नवा शब्द शब्द उजळून गेला समतेचा संगराचा अर्थ ढाळून गेला विराट विशाल संस्कृतीचे गीत आमुचे जीवनाचे इतिहासाचे जनामनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनामनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे
So thank you, Amol. I would request all participants to open their cameras. And Pandharipande sir has joined through OnePlus. Amol, you can make him a co-host. OnePlus NE 2211.
Now it is okay.
Yes,
You are
yes.
able?
Yes, yes. You are
Oh,
audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon,
Yeah.
sir. Most
Thank you.
welcome.
I'm sorry for some technical difficulty.
No, sir.
Right, right.
All participants can kindly open their cameras so we can have an interaction session. So on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, I welcome our today's chief guest, Honorable former Vice Chancellor of our university, Dr. V.M. Pandharipande sir. Also, I welcome our president of this inaugural session, director of this UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, Professor Satish Patil sir, to this inauguration session. Friends, this 8 days working program of NEP, this is the 19th NEP orientation and sensitization course being conducted by our UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center. And it is really an honor for all of us to have such an eminent person here in this Zoom platform to have an interaction on this very first day, Professor V.M. Pandharipande sir. A person with a vast teaching and research experience, a person who has successfully guided many students for their PhD, has been also Vice Chancellor of our university. So it was really an honor and pleasure to call him for this inaugural session. So I welcome him. Also, we have today with us Professor Satish Patil sir, Honorable Director of this UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center. Again, a person with a vast teaching and research experience of more than 35 years, has also guided successfully many students, have completed many projects, and also have nearly under his able guidance, nearly 30 students have awarded, and 6 are currently working under his able guidance. Also, he have actively participated in 19 conferences and 58 national conferences. Also, he has visited universities at international level like University of Rajshahi, Bangladesh, Eastern University, Sri Lanka. Also, he has been honored by prestigious awards like Environmentalist of the Year 2017 and Scientist of the Year 2018. Also, a Clean Environment Promotion Award. So, under his able guidance, our Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center has successfully now conducted 18 NEP orientation courses. Now, this is the 19th one. So again, I welcome him on behalf of this entire group also. So before going towards the presidential address, I would request Pandharipande sir to deliver a short inaugural address to all of us. After that, he can continue for his lecture.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, for inviting me to deliver this inaugural address and also a special lecture which will be followed by the small inaugural function. See, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University has taken a very lead. In spite of being in the rural area, it has, I'm proud that it has secured a grade in the NEP and excellent grade in the NEP recently. And they are very striving for quality education in all fields. In fact, it reminds me that we are talking about so-called new education policy, but some of the elements of this new education policy were implemented by this university nearly 10 years back, around 2012 and 2011, such as the flexible credit grading system, variable grading system, liberal arts, open electives, all these things they have implemented 10 years. So I would congratulate the so-called academic staff college. I think now the name of that thing is different, but they are very training the faculty in all areas, and this is 18th course in that series. The sensitization of the faculty for the so-called new education policy is important, because what has happened, although the policy was started in 2020, because of Corona for 2 years and some after effects of Corona, the actual implementation of this policy was slightly delayed, and also I would like to say derailed. Delayed also and derailed also, because of faculty not being able to understand how to implement this in the traditional system, because we are always used to some fixed and rigid laws, rules, regulations regarding the admissions, regarding the examination system, regarding the curricula design. We have been rigid, whereas the new education policy expects lot of flexibility, lot of autonomy, both in teaching, learning, and evaluation. So, of course, in my lecture, I would be dealing with these things in detail. But one thing I would like to just tell a small story. See, at the end of World War II, one letter was found in the concentration camp. This letter, which was found in the concentration camp, is addressed to the teachers. A small letter I would like to read. Dear teachers, I am survivor of concentration camp. My eyes saw what no man should witness. Gas chambers built by learned engineers, children poisoned by educated physicians, infants killed by trained nurses, women and babies shot and burned by high school and college graduates. So I am suspicious of education. My request is help your students become human. Your efforts must never produce learned monsters, skilled psychopaths, educated illiterates. Reading, writing, arithmetic, these are all important only if they serve towards making our new children more human. This is a very important letter which was found in the concentration camp, and it gives us a rethinking what actually education means. So we must understand the real meaning of education. With this small introduction, I would like to hand over to the president for further thing. I will continue after this inauguration.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. So I would now request Professor Satish Patil, sir, Director of this UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, to deliver a presidential remark to this inaugural session.
Good afternoon, all of you. The chief guest of this today's function, the ex-Vice Chancellor of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, that is former Vice Chancellor, respected Sri Vijay Pandharipande sir, my colleague, Assistant Director Dr. Rafe, and you all participants. Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center of this university is providing excellence in teachers' education, shaping the empowered educators who are capable of transforming the future of higher education by innovative teaching methods, inclusive practices, and fostering the critical thinking also. So this center envisions creating a sustainable ecosystems, learning, teaching, and research that gets synergized to contribute to the holistic development of the student and society as such. As it has been pointed out by Pandharipande sir, that to become a good teacher, we should have to have a commitment to the students, society, and excellence. And we should also have to have a basic human values to become a good teacher. That is very, very important. So as this is 18th course, there is NEP sensitizing orientation course to provide a continuous and update training programs, training that enables the teacher to stay current with the educational advancements, innovative teaching practices, and technological tools. Of course, we should have to develop a leadership skills among the students and a strong sense of ethics in education, preparing them to become a role models who contribute positively to the academic institutions and society at large. So in this NEP, there will be 8 core areas, as it has been pointed by my colleague. There is the Indian knowledge systems, holistic and multidisciplinary education, academic leadership, governance and the management, student diversity, research and development, higher education, information, communication technology, and skill development. So during these 8 working days, we'll try to invite experienced and renowned speakers from the Pan India to interact with you and to get sensitization among the NEP, so that we should be able to become instrumental to shape up the career of the students. So I welcome you all on behalf of my MMTTC Center, and I wish you all the best, so that you will enjoy the brainstorming which will be done by every speaker with you. Stay with interaction with every resource person, and see that you should get benefited while listening and interacting with them. Thank you very much, and also thank to the Honorable Pandharipande sir for giving his the initial talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So, with the permission of President, I declare that this inaugural session is over.
Yes.
And as all of us are eagerly waiting for our expert, Professor Pandharipande sir, to hear, I will now hand over the session to our respected resource person. And sir, all our participants are muted. If any participant have any question, they can raise the hand and sir will
Chat
unmute.
box.
because
chat box.
if we allow you, then it creates a mess. So we have muted you all. If you have any question, you can raise the hand. Sir will answer. No problem. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Patil and Dr. Rafe. Let us see that this session will be enjoyable. And I would like to tell few things before I start my lecture. Number one, don't assume that whatever statements I am making, they are the last words. These are only my opinions, which I have gained for the experience of last 30, 40 years. But there can be a varied opinion. I always believe in the democracy, and therefore, in some of my statements, you may or may not agree. And I permit you not to agree also. You may have a different opinion, but let us have a very constructive debate, constructive discussion. I do not want simply lecturing for these 2 hours instead of simply talking myself. Let us have a one-to-one mutual discussion. If you have any doubts, any questions, or any queries, please raise your hands. Or if any of my statements you are not agreeing, you can raise your hands and ask me questions at any stage. Once I talk, I will be stopping for some time and allow you to ask me any doubts, anything. Another thing, as a assignment, you have to listen to my lectures very carefully, because as soon as this session will be over, you have a small assignment from my side. What is that assignment? Assignment is very simple. You have to set, each participant here has to set only two multiple choice questions with 4 options based on my talk. Based on my talk or the topic which is related to my talk, please set only two questions with 4 options. You have to give those 4 options and mail it to the coordinator. So what will happen? Suppose there are, let us say, 100 participants. Then coordinator will receive 200 questions, 2 from each participant. Then he will combine those 200 questions and circulate to all of you, so that you can try those all 100 questions and again answer those questions and again submit maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow to the coordinator. I hope you will enjoy this, because that will also ensure that you are participating with seriousness in this session. Now, we are talking about so-called new education policy, which of course the central government started in 2020. But because of Corona, 2 years, 21, 22, 2021, 2022, nothing could be done. Our whole education system was in doldrums. We hardly had actual offline lectures. Examination system was prepared. So many difficulties we faced. But slowly, since last 2 years, 22, 23, 24, government is very keen in implementing the ideas. Let me tell you, if you see the document of this new education policy, or what is called, they call it National Education Policy, it is an excellent document, because it is a holistic approach towards learning as well as teaching. Please remember, you may be surprised. On YouTube, once I found out what is the definition of a best teacher or a good teacher. You will be surprised. The best teacher is the teacher who does not teach. Are you not surprised? Yes, best teacher is a teacher who does not teach. But next sentence is important. But helps the students to learn. This is very important. So this also clearly explains what is the real role of a good teacher. Because in general, what are you doing? You go to your class at, let us say, 10 o'clock. Then for 1 hour, if it is a 1 hour period, 60 minutes, you keep on only talking. Only you talk. There are no questions, there are no discussions, there is hardly, maybe 5 to 10% teachers may have a different style of learning or teaching. But mostly 90% of the teachers, they simply talk, and those lectures are really boring. Students are not attending the classes. Day by day, the attendance especially in higher classes, graduate students, postgraduate students, they are not attending the classes. The attendance is hardly 30%, 40%. And this is the universal phenomenon in our country. It's not that only in one university is happening and the another university is not happening. Even the so-called disciplined institutions, students are not coming to the classes. I think we have to be seriously think why it is happening. First, you should find out. You ask this question: is everything okay with me, my department, my school, my college, my university? Is everything okay with me as a teacher, with my department, with my faculty, with my institution, college, or with my university? Lot of things you will find things are not okay. In fact, you ask any person who is above 60 or so-called senior citizen, above 60, 70, like that. He will say education in their time, that is 60 years back or 50 years back, was much better than the education as on today. Everybody will say the same thing, that earlier education 50 years back, 70 years back, or before independence was much better. Quality education was there than as in today. It also applies even to the IITs. See, they initially, IITs are supposed to be the brand institutions, higher education, as far as higher technical education is concerned, they are considered as the top, not only in our country, but also recognized as the branded schools in the whole world. But even there, the education, because I have studied in IIT for during 70s and 80s, I have learned there and I have taught there also. As I have experienced IIT as a student, also as a teacher. So the same IIT now is totally different. Number of admissions have increased. Number of IITs have increased. Number of REC, regional engineering colleges, now named as National Institute of Technology, that has increased manifold. But unfortunately, it is only quantity that is increased. But as far as quality is concerned, there is a big question mark. Therefore, we have to ask ourselves, what is wrong? Where we are not able to fulfill the aspirations of young people. See, a person who comes to the college after 12th class, they are in the age of 16 to 20, 16 to 22. That is the really vibrant age when a boy or a girl joins a college, does his graduate or her graduate, post-graduation, maybe PhD. So those 5 to 6, 7 years, when they are young, they are with full of energy, zeal. They have a lot of dreams regarding their future, regarding their career. In spite of all these things, their motivation for learning, their motivation for study is questionable. Why it is happening? Why there is a indiscipline in colleges and universities, etc.? Why people are, they only want marks, they only want grades. And as you see, our result, even 12th result, 10th result, many students are getting above 90%. In our time, this above crossing 90% was not at all heard of. But now in 10th class and 12th class, 99%, 100%, hundreds of students pass with 100 out of 100. But are they knowledgeable? Are they become wise? They might they be smart. They may have a lot of information because of the social media, mobile phones, internet, Google, lot of flow of information is there. But are we converting that information into knowledge? This is the question mark. Are we converting information into knowledge? Are we become wise person? Are we really becoming wise? Because being educated is one thing and being literate is another thing. There is a lot of difference. You may have a lot of degrees, BSc, MSc, PhD, and MPhil, so many degrees. But then you are educated. But are you literate? Are you wise person? If that would have been, I think just before in my inaugural thing, I read a letter which was written in the concentration camp. Why there are the wars? Why there are so much disruption in the society? Why we are not considering everybody equal? Why there is competition? Why there is a jealousy? Why people are fighting with each other? Why there are disrespect for women? Why are we there is so much violence in society? So I think something is wrong with our education system. You have to admit. And it is high time that we think what is wrong and let us rectify it. People say that Gurukul type of system, when the student used to go to the teacher and stay with him for the whole period of 8 to 10 years, totally devoted to the teacher. That type of devotion we don't see. Even students, when they talk about the teacher, see the language they use about the teacher. They hardly have any respect for the teacher. I think the first and foremost thing is we have to change this atmosphere and make this atmosphere more favorable, conducive to the learning process. How can we do it? That is important. And to some extent, this new education policy is marching towards this goal. First of all, we had an annual system. The examination were conducted at the end of 1 year. Nearly 10 months or 11 months, nearly, yes, 9 to 10 months of continuous learning and one subject. And at the end of the year, we used to have examination for complete portion. That was a big burden for student to remember so many things. And the examination, 3 hours examination, based on what he has learned throughout the year. So it was found difficult. Therefore, we converted into semester system. And even the semester system, and where the exams are conducted after 4 months. Even in those 4 months of learning, we have assignments, class tests, sessional marks for what is called as internal evaluation system. So we have an internal evaluation system, external evaluation system. That is annual exam. Now this distribution of the so-called marks or the weightage is different. 40-60, 30-70, 20-80, all things they have tried. 20 assessment, 80 final exam, 30, 70. Now people are saying that more marks should be for continuous evaluation process. There must be a quiz or assignment every week. Every week, something is, whatever you have taught, whether the student has assimilated it or not, whether they have digested it or not, that must be tested. Otherwise, you keep on teaching, and students are not able to digest it. They are not able to understand it. Please remember, the main problem in education is what to teach, how much to teach, how to teach, and when to teach. I'll repeat. The main issue in the education is whether it is a school education or higher education. It is what to teach, how much to teach, how to teach, and when to teach. This is answer to these questions are generally given by what is called as curricular design. That syllabus, whatever we call it is, board of studies and other things they are making, or faculty, academic council, they frame your syllabus. They will keep on revising the syllabus. You know that the technology is changing at a very fast rate. World is going. What situation was there when I graduated is totally different than the graduation education today. Whether it is engineering, science, arts, humanities, everywhere. The syllabus has to change because the futuristic needs are different. We have now gadgets. Now internet has come. Computer revolution, what was in last 4 to 5 decades, have totally changed the face of society. It has totally changed. We had a culture of going to the library, spending more and more time in the library. Let me tell you, I had another story. It seems Sikandar time, the soldiers, Sikandar and Porus war, So soldiers came to the Sikandar and they told that very proudly that they have destroyed enemy, they have destroyed city, they have killed many people, but they have not touched the library. They said, we found a library, we have left the library, but we have destroyed everything except library. They thought that Sikandar, king, will be very happy knowing that we have destroyed people, we have killed many people, they will be happy. But we have left library. You know what Sikandar told the soldiers? You have committed a mistake. You have kept the library. It is very dangerous because it is the knowledge which is important. The knowledge which is there in that library, that is important. You should have destroyed that knowledge. Then only that country will get destroyed. So please, see how much importance was given to the books and knowledge. And now also, our old structures, our old textbooks, they still have a value. Yes, more and more new texts are coming in all subjects, but still there are, we call it classic sculptures, classic books, textbooks. So still there is an importance of that. And therefore, this question of what to teach, how to teach, when to teach, and how much to teach becomes an important, because you have a limited time. Semester time is limited, and you must allow students to learn rather than bombarding him with more and more information. Teach less. As I told you, teach less allow him to learn or help him to learn. Not only allow, help him, guide him to learn. For example, we have studied so many theorems, calculus, trigonometry, algebra, so many things, acid, bases, salt in chemistry, then theory of matter, wave theory in physics, Schrodinger's equation, so many complicated mathematics. What is the use of that? Student can ask, what is the use of that thing? I'll give you a simple example. All of us have studied in the school that sum of two sides of a triangle is greater than third side. I'm sure. Even though if you are an arts teacher or a science, history teacher or whatever it is, you at least this you will remember that in a triangle, sum of two sides of a triangle is greater than third side. This is the famous theorem. Have anybody thought what is the use of this theorem? Or what is the use of this statement? Where it is used in practice? Same thing. We learn sine, cosine, tangent, differential calculus, integral calculus, vectors, so many things we learn. What for? In practice, where is it used? You will be surprised that 80 to 90% of what we learn in school and colleges, we never use in life, in practice. 80 to 90%, we don't use, except only those who become teacher, they use. Because as a teacher, you have to teach the students again. Therefore, whatever we have learned in schools or colleges, we are using. Except that small percentage of teaching community. And of course, those who go for research, they become scientists. They also use whatever they have learned. But except that small community, which may be hardly 5 to 10% of the whole lot, 80 to 90% of people, they don't use what they have learned in schools and colleges. Then the question may come to you, why are we learning those things? It has importance. It has some significance. The fact is that importance, that significance is not told to us. That thing is not told to us. Why are we learning that sine, cosine, trigonometry, algebra, those complicated equations, statics, dynamics? Why are we learning? Now, coming back to this question of sum of two sides of a triangle is greater than third side. I will ask these questions to all of you. Can anybody tell me what is the use of this statement or theorem in practical life? Can anybody answer? If anybody knows, please raise your hand. Sum of two sides of a triangle is always greater than third side. Is there any use of this theorem or statement in life? Anybody knows it? Please raise your hand so that they will unmute you and you can answer. No? Surprising. How many participants are there? Nobody is able to think. Is this statement which we learned in school is useful? Yes. Anybody? See, it doesn't matter if you are wrong, but you can at least try. If you know, don't see, you are all teachers. If you are not able to frankly participate in the discussion, then how will you inspire students to participate in the discussion? So please, even if your statement is wrong or if your answer is wrong, don't feel shy, but at least tell me. Anybody know where it is used? And I am telling you, it is used. All of you know it. You are every day, you experience it. No knowledge is useless. Remember, no knowledge which we read, assimilate is useless. Somewhere it has application. Unfortunately, we neglect it. We neglect it. Yes, anybody wants to try? Coordinator, anybody is raising hand? Hello? Coordinator, anybody is raising hand?
पार्टिसिपेंट कुछ सर्विस होंगे तो आप क्वेश्चन तो आप हैंड किए, मैं आपको यहाँ से अनम्यूट करता हूँ.
यस, कोई बता सकता है कि ये हम कहाँ यूज करते हैं? हम कहाँ यूज कर सकते हैं? ये त्रिकोण की दो भुजाएं का जो सम होता है वो तीसरी से हमेशा ज्यादा होता है. तीसरी भुजा से. Sum of two sides of a triangle is always greater than such. I am really surprised that this is a very simple question. Yes. Anybody wants to say?
हाँ, रोल नंबर 83 प्लीज बताइए.
हाँ, बताइए 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 बताइए. अरे, somebody wanted to tell? Okay, let us not waste time. You will be surprised that this principle is used by Uber taxi. Whenever you go to the taxi and he immediately puts a map. Suppose from your residence, you have to go to railway station or you have to go to the airport. He will put a map, and that map which comes there, it is the shortest distance between your residence and railway station. This shortest distance is based on this theorem that sum of two sides of a triangle is greater than third side. This shortest side is the straight line connecting the 2 points. Of course, when you travel along the road, it won't be a straight line, but Uber always gives preference to a shortest distance. And that shortest distance is based on this theorem. But there is one but. There is one but, that after when you enter the taxi, sometimes this taxi fellow does not go by that short route. He goes by some other route. Then you ask him, why are you taking this longer route? What is the answer? He says, in that route, although it is longer, traffic will be less. We will reach before time. We will save time. So sometimes he will say, this road is not proper. There are a lot of, road is not good. That road is good. And therefore, we will go fast. It means that in life, always, there is no unique answer to any problem. There is no unique answer to the problem. What answer which has been taught traditionally in the school may not be the same answer. May not be the same answer. And that you must have experienced when you learn science, chemistry, physics. Every time the theory was changing. For example, if there are physics teachers here, science teachers here, you must have seen one scientist said the matter is particle in nature, particle theory. This fellow gets a Nobel Prize. After a few years, another scientist came, I think his own son. He said, no, matter is not a particle. It is a wave in nature. So wave theory came, particle theory, wave theory came. That fellow also gets Nobel Prize. Then the third scientist comes after 10 to 20 years or 10, 15 years. He says matter is neither particle nor wave. It is uncertain. There is a principle of uncertainty, right? This fellow also gets Nobel Prize. Now, in last 10 years, they are saying it is neither particle nor wave nor uncertain. It is a quantum dots. New theory has come, quantum theory. So see, science is changing. In fact, the definition of a science is a thing which always changes. It is not same. It is not same. It is continuously changing. So that is what is required. So what you learned 30 years back or 40 years back, you are not teaching to students as on today. Now, the new education policy aims at liberal education. The word liberal is very important. Flexible learning. See, our earlier learning was rigid, very rigid rules we had. That this is the syllabus, you cannot go beyond the syllabus. This is the way in which you will be examined, and this is the examination pattern. There cannot be any change in the examination pattern. 3 hours exam, 3 hours exam. 2 hours exam, 2 hours exam. So much practical. 10 practicals, same practicals you have to do. No. Now, there is a lot of stress on going from rigidity to flexibility. Freedom. Students should have a freedom what subjects to choose. Because job market is changing. For example, a student, I am not underestimating arts, value of arts, etc. But suppose I have done MA in Hindi, MA in Hindi, or MA in history, or MA in sociology. It is very difficult to get job. It's very MA in Hindi or MA in Sanskrit, whatever language, English, whatever it is. Very difficult to get a job. Jobs will, he can become at the most a school teacher. But suppose the person who has done some learned literature, and along with the literature, suppose he learned some history subjects, some subjects from mass communication, some subjects from journalism department, some subjects from computer science, at least basic knowledge of typing and making data sheets and making spreadsheets on the computer, some computer language if he learns, then his value in the job market will be increased. So we have to think that way. Simply MA in history will not give you a job. But along with the subjects in the history, suppose I take a subject from tourism department. Tourism. There is a tourism department. And some language. I must be able to communicate. More important is language. I may be a good mathematician. I may be a good scientist. But if my ideas I am not able to express properly in language, any language, not necessarily, I'm not giving too much importance to only English, no. Even in your mother tongue, are you able to talk properly? Are you able to write properly? Can you write at least 1 or 2 pages in your own mother tongue and express your thoughts on some topic, given topic, quickly? Suppose I ask you, write your views on today's politics, or write your views on election procedure in our country, or write your views on Russia-Ukraine war, or anything, or write your views on impact of social media, anything. Are we able to express our thoughts in proper language? That is very important. Therefore, learning language is very, very important. In fact, in Europe and American countries, lot of importance is given in schools for language. They give too much importance to the language. Actually, 4 to 5 languages are taught in European schools. In fact, in our thing, hardly we learn only English, mother tongue, and Hindi, plus maybe one foreign languages nowadays. But that's all. But lot of importance is given in writing skills and spoken communication skills also. Is very important. Then, if you have a flexible learning system, means saying, I have done BA in arts, BA in history, or BA in English, or MA in English. If you have number of flexibility and number of credits in different faculties, then your experience will be more. Your experience will be rich. And that is what the so-called new national education policy expects you to do. Of course, when anything new is introduced, we have to work as a teacher. We have to work as a administrator. Rules have to be changed. You will be, but so far what was happening, suppose I do BSc in physics. I have taken at BSc in physics, I have taken, let us say, physics, chemistry. And later on, suppose I develop interest in mathematics or computer science. At postgraduate level, I will not be allowed. If I don't have a Hindi subject at BA level, they will not allow me to do MA in Hindi. So these type of rigidity, very fixed rules are spoiling this. Suppose I have done MSc in physics. Suppose I have done MSc in physics. Will you allow him to do PhD in chemistry side? Suppose his topic, he wants to do PhD in area of chemistry. Our university will not allow. But this is, in foreign countries, there is total freedom, because they say you will be examined in chemistry. So how does it matter whether your MSc you have done in physics or not? So if you want to do PhD in chemistry, they allow. I will give you a live example. I think 2012, I'm not remembering exact year. Our Indian, of course, staying abroad, Professor Venkat Ramakrishnan, he got Nobel Prize in chemistry. Nobel Prize in chemistry, I think, along with 1 or 2 more scientists. You will be surprised. A person who got a Nobel Prize in chemistry, his all degrees, BSc, MSc, are in physics. His PhD work was in physics. But he gets Nobel Prize in chemistry. Means he has done research in chemistry. He is teaching biochemistry or biotechnology. That much freedom is there in abroad. But we have built walls. There is a wall between physics and chemistry. There is a wall between mathematics and statistics. We don't come together. If we come together, if we learn together, I think the situation will be more interesting. The situation will be more pro-learning. If student from mathematics department is able to go to the physics lab, if a student from chemistry laboratory is able to do some experiments in the physics laboratory, or they are able to go to the computer lab, they are even able to go to language class, English literature. Or suppose, forget about it. What about music? Suppose you have a music drama department. Why not to take 1 or 2 credits? Suppose I am a good actor, or my voice is good. Why not I take 1 credit course from music department or drama department? They are all interrelated. Do you know, in music there is a mathematics. In music there is a mathematics. There is a electronics in music. Synthesizer. What is synthesizer? It is not like a harmonium. Our harmonium was a classic music instrument. But synthesizer, it can produce the sound of guitar. It can produce a sound of flute. It is all because of modern, it is all because of electronics, computers, programming, etc. All those frequencies in flute, suppose you play a flute, you closely observe the distance between the 2 holes of the flute, diameter or that hole of the flute, diameter of that flute is all designed by a mathematical equation. We have not learned that, yes, in our whole body, there is a mathematics. Our all parts of the bodies, they have fixed ratios. They have fixed ratios. My height may be different, your height may be different, but if you take a ratio between, let us say, here and here, this ratio, from here to here, from here to here, this, if you take a ratio, it comes out to be more or less same for everybody. If it is not so, we will not look good. There will be some imbalance in our look, imbalance in our personality. So there is a lot of mathematics, science in our day-to-day business also. Only we are, unfortunately, we are paying a blind eye to those things. Our eyes are not open. We see, we don't look. We hear, we don't listen. There is a difference between hearing and listening. There is a difference between looking and seeing. We don't understand, but there is a difference. Therefore, please remember, in any language, when you use the words, these words have specific meaning. Whatever is there. Suppose you take Urdu, they use the word ishq. Hindi, there is a word pyar. Ishq is not, they may look same, but meanings are different. In a particular sentence, in a particular poem, in a particular shairi or ghazal, only the same word will fit. No other word will fit. So we have to be very critical about using words, using symbols, using learning mathematics, etc. So these how much we are prepared for this flexibility in not only learning, teaching, even evaluation. Our evaluation system, exam, see, we are 100 marks, 3 hours examination at the end of the semester. Who told you? Why there should be only 3 hours examination? Why there should be only 100 marks? Why cannot be 10 marks or 50 marks? Can you not give marks out of 10, but still conduct the examination for 3 hours? Yes, it is possible. After all, it is a scale, it is a percentage, it is a ratio. So this, Fortunately, you must understand. And the flexible credit system is also important. Earlier, what we used to do? History, 4 periods. Mughal history, 4 periods. British history, 4 periods. And in the end, or English literature, prose, 4 periods per week. Poetry, 4 periods per week. No. There is also a flexibility that weightage can be different. I can have, and that is the concept of credit. The concept of credit is each subject need not be learned with the same weightage. More important subjects can have 3 credits, 4 credits. Less time, 2 credits. Lab can be 2 credits. Yoga, for example, yoga. 2 weeks, suppose, 1 or 2 classes per week. Yoga I learn, 1 credit. Suppose I learn sports, particular sport. It can be 1 credit or 2 credits. Suppose I go to a music class, it can be 2 credits. Suppose I am learning 1 computer language, it can be 2 credits. Suppose I am not learning in the college, I am going to some institution outside. I am working in a bank in summer vacation, and I have spent, let us say, 40 hours I have spent in the bank learning how bank system works, how do they give loan, what is the criteria for giving loan, how that interest rate is determined, how home loans are distributed. If I learn all the banking system in summer vacation, and yes, there can be some supervisor, I'm working with somebody there, bank manager or person there, I learn all banking system, he takes my examination, I write some report, come back, or suppose I go to some industry. There may be a automobile industry, or there may be a utensil industry, and work there. I see, or shopping mall, how the shopping mall is working, or how this all Zoom or these people, apps, they are how these are working. Any learning, suppose I do in vacation or summer vacation, winter vacation, and those things also can be given credit. This is the flexibility in our education system introduced by this education policy. It is now we are running up to 4 o'clock. I will stop here. If you have some, we will have some 10-15 minutes of question answer session, and then we will break for 5 to 10 minutes. And again, I will continue my last session after that. So let us have some question answer session. Please feel free to talk on any matter not related to what I have talked. If you have any doubts in your mind, please feel free to talk, ask questions, because it is only through the discussion we can learn. Okay, so now for 15 minutes, now it is 4 o'clock. So for 15 minutes, we will have discussion. Then we will break for 10 minutes. And again, my last session will start. Matter is open for discussion. A coordinator, please coordinate if anybody is asking question. Please ask question. Yes. Coordinator, please. Yeah, who wants to ask question? Coordinator, can you conduct some question answer session?
Participant, any question, you can raise the hands.
Yeah, please conduct the question.
Participant, you can, any question, you can raise hand. Any words, you can write down in chat box.
पूछिए क्वेश्चन पूछिए. See, unless we discuss, there is no meaning. If I keep on talking, it has meaningless. Please have some questions. The question can be on any topic related to education. Does not matter from which faculty you are, art, science, engineering, architecture, medical, anything. Let us have free discussion. No, please go ahead.
Okay, roll number 20, you can unmute themselves.
Roll number 20 ask.
Sir, namaste.
बोलिए.
What is the role of NEP structure?
Which structure?
What is the role of NEP structure
NEP structure?
in education?
No, what do you mean by NEP structure?
Because already NEP 2020 installed from this year for undergraduate and the postgraduates graduations.
Yes.
So what is the exact role of this structure for undergraduate and the PG?
No. For example, these things, they have nowadays things are available on internet, is it not?
Yes, sir, yes.
Now just go to the higher education department and download the whole NEP thing. It is hardly 30 to 40 pages. You yourself can learn it instead of asking a question to me.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay.
You followed. See, problem is information is already available.
Yes, sir.
What is the meaning of credit? What is the meaning of how to conduct examination?
Yes.
Other thing. All these things, documents are written in very simple language. There is no big mathematics involved. There is no complicated language. It is all written in a simple thing. So please go there, point by point it is written, right? Undergraduate is separate, postgraduate is separate.
Right.
The more emphasis is on flexibility, right? It is like a cafeteria approach. See, students should have freedom to choose the topic. What he wants to learn, he will learn. You will not impose. Only take this, no. When you go to hotel for taking a lunch, right? Menu card is available. We dictate. See, hotel fellow will not dictate what I should eat. I'll tell him, I want this. Not only that, you also tell him, इसमें मिर्च कम डालो, इसमें शक्कर मत डालो, चाय में शक्कर मत डालो, without sugar, without all these things you are dictating. In the same way, students should tell. See, one student may be intelligent. He wants to finish degree quickly. Allow him. One student is not that fast. He wants to go slow. So 3 years degree, he will do it in 3.5 years or 4 years. Allow. Everybody is not same in learning capability. So give him a chance instead of failing him. You don't have simply he is not capable, you fail him. No, he will go by his own speed. So NEP structure allows you to learn at your own speed. It allows you to learn what you want to learn rather than board of studies telling or faculty telling or vice chancellor telling.
Okay, right, sir.
Right. Anybody else? Okay. Anyone else?
101, you can unmute themselves.
101, please. Hello? 101. Yes, please, loudly.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
110, sir. Roll number is 110. Sir, my question is in higher education systems, digital presentations is important, yeah, means digital presentations, how much importance?
Which presentation?
Digital presentation.
That is, you want to say PPT, etc.?
Yeah.
That is showing the slides, etc.?
Yeah.
Now see, that digital presentation has got, see, whole course you cannot teach by PPT. Okay. Some things you have to teach by discussion. Some things you can teach by, traditional blackboard. Of course, nowadays whiteboard is there. Blackboard has gone. So some things have to be taught by board and pen. Whiteboard and pen, or blackboard and chalk. But suppose there are complicated figures. Earlier, our science, from which faculty you are?
In science faculty, microbiology.
Okay. Now, suppose in microbiology or physics, there are complicated figures. You cannot draw complicated figures on the board. That lot of time will be wasted. So those figures you can show on the screen, right? Suppose there is a lot of experimentation involved, procedure involved, and a lot of block diagrams are there. So instead of wasting time by drawing those block diagrams, same thing already can be prepared in hand and show it on the board. So you will save time. So use PPT only to save time, only to show complicated figures. Okay. I'll give another example. Suppose somebody is teaching history, right? Now, history teaching, generally, teacher will keep on only talking. Mughal history, history of Chhatrapati Shivaji, or Rani Lakshmi Bai Rani, etc., Rana Pratap, etc. But suppose I can show a movie on Rana Pratap, or Chhatrapati Shivaji, or Rani Lakshmi Bai, or war between European British people and Indian freedom struggle. If I can show it some slides or videos, movies, that will be more interesting, right? So these visual things help in understanding the topic in a more critical fashion, and also to save the time. So to that extent, you have to use it.
Okay.
Right. Anybody else? Similarly, in mathematics, suppose there is a mathematics, lot of derivation is there. Now, if I keep on deriving the things on the board, a theorem or a big expression, it takes time. So what can I do? I can give a reference that in this book, in this chapter, on this page, whole derivation is done. I do not want to spend my time in writing that complete derivation. Instead, that you go home and learn it. I will only explain how from this step to this step, how this step has come, from this step to this step, how it has come. Same thing is some of your microbiology experiments, complicated things, figures, those can be. Yes, anybody else? See, if you ask questions, and we will have more interaction.
Yes,
and
roll number
discussion.
83.
Yeah, 83, come on.
Sir, good afternoon. Bhalerao here.
Yeah.
Sir, I have two questions. One is that I have observed that every human being has mind, and mind is very important in each and everything. So, is there a place in any subject which inspire or teach about our own mind? This is the first question.
Okay.
First. Second question is what is
What is your faculty subject?
arts.
Huh?
My subject is English. Arts. English.
Okay.
And I'm interested. As you said, I'm interested in psychology.
Okay.
I'm interested in psychology.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have then
This is
in
my
that case, no, hello. Then in that case, you have answered your question, because if you want to learn the mind, then you learn more and more psychology.
Yeah, I'm learning, sir. I'm learning. My
Yeah.
question is that I have been observing that every human being is suffered, and very few people understand about their own mind. Is there any provision in new education policy to understand the mind, human mind?
It is, let me tell you, knowing mind is the most difficult thing, and nobody can claim, even a doctor cannot claim, even if the psychologist or a counselor, he talks to a person, it is very difficult to know the mind, because the function of a brain, the function of a mind and brain, these two things are entirely different. Okay. You understand Marathi? Hello? Do you understand Marathi?
Yes, sir.
Then you read a book by Manat by Achyut Godbole. Manat. This book will give you lot of understanding about the mind. And it is a very simple language, Marathi it is written. It talks a lot about function of a mind, function of a brain, etc. Lot of things. See, if you understand a person, you can communicate better. Is it not? That is a common thing we observe in our thing. Why we are not able to live with people around? Because we don't understand them. Rather, we don't want to understand them. Therefore, you will always find in any organization, whether it is school, college, industry, market, why there is a conflict between the people. Why there is a conflict between the two countries, two communities, two groups? Because we are not able to understand the other party or other person, right? If there is a, in English or even in science, it is called frequency tuning. It is called tuning. If you understand a person, it means you are tuned to him. Then there will be maximum communication, proper communication. It happens between father and son, mother and child, husband and wife, right? Two friends. Only they are able to communicate if they understand each other. Of course, which is very difficult. And what is your second question? What is second question?
Yes, roll number 88. You can unmute themselves.
Hello.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Please.
I'm roll number 88. According to the new education policy, a student can do cross-major degrees, isn't it, sir? Like UG, a student can go for cross-major degree. That is, in UG, they can opt for science, and in PG, they can go for arts and vice versa, no, sir?
Yeah.
In that case, suppose if a student is doing such cross-major degree, will they be eligible to become assistant professor in a college?
See, let me tell you one thing, madam. This linking of degree with mark sheet or your qualification, it has spoiled the whole system. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you a real story. Guru of my guru. You understand?
Okay.
Guru of my guru means grand guru,
Okay, sir.
The
Your
person
teacher's
with,
teacher.
teacher. The person with whom I did PhD and the person with whom he did PhD, my guru's guru in IIT, was not a PhD student. He was not a doctorate. Do you understand?
Okay.
But he produced dozens of doctorate. Dozens of doctorate. He became the director of IIT without PhD. So, for job, what you can deliver is more important than your mark sheet. I know a professor in IIT who was on biodata. He was not expert in a computer science at all. On paper, biodata. His post-graduation was some other specialization. But believe me, he became professor and head of computer science without having this thing. He has learned himself. He has learned himself. Tell me, when Asha Bhosle or Lata Mangeshkar, does she needs PhD in music?
No, not really. But in
Now, what I want to say, a day will come when people will give you a job based on your capability rather than your degree.
that's what.
For example, in my opinion, this is again my personal opinion, okay? In my opinion, PhD is not at all required to become a good teacher, at least at undergraduate level. At undergraduate level, even if you don't have PhD, you can be a very good teacher, provided you know the subject, you are a good communicator, you have good communication skills, and you know the subject. PhD is not must. But then you will ask me, why UGC or AICT or something, they are insisting on PhD. They have felt that when you go through the process of PhD, your logical thinking will be increased. You will know how to do literature survey. You will know how to critically examining the issue. Only on those aspects, PhD is required. Otherwise, to teach a subject, so to teach a poetry for English graduate class, you don't need a PhD, in my opinion. You understand? So
yes,
your knowledge is important. Therefore, you will find that there are some graduates, simple graduates, they can teach mathematics better than a PhD in mathematics. There are graduates, I know, because they know the concept. They know the concept. What is your subject, madam?
Business administration, sir.
Huh?
Business administration.
Now, in business administration, the concepts, ideas, etc., you know, if a person in the a Tata, a person like a working in Tata or Ambani Group, most of them are not.
They are experienced. They won't have proper background.
Dhirubhai Ambani was working on a petrol pump, it seems.
Yes.
He did not earn any degree. Let me tell you, this fellow, Steve Jobs, who formed a company called Apple, at the age of 22, this fellow was zero, nothing. He came to India and went to Himalaya, wanted to have some religious learning. But he got bored and he lost his passport and therefore purse, etc. Therefore, he had to go to United States. And then he started a company called Apple in his own garage.
Garage, yes.
Garage. You must have learned his biography.
Yes.
And the same person died at the age of 44. So whole Apple business was created in just 20 years. Imagine. Was he PhD? No.
I completely agree with you, sir. And I hope that the system will also be changed accordingly.
Yes.
Because right now it is not possible, no, sir.
No. Don't worry. Situation will come. The system is going to change. Already some concepts of professor of practice, etc., have started.
Yes.
In industry, you can have a teacher from industry, especially for your business administration.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can appoint a professor of practice.
Yes.
So slowly we are understanding and moving in that direction.
Thank you so much, sir.
Right. Anybody else?
Yes, Santosh Surve.
Yeah.
Santosh Surve, sir, you can unmute themselves.
Okay, good afternoon, sir.
Please.
Sir, my question is, as in NEP, there is more flexibility is given for the students.
Yeah.
So don't you think it will take a long time for the student to get expertise in particular subject?
What is that?
Don't you think the student will get will need more time to have us expertise in a particular subject? Suppose
No.
yes, I initiate.
Let me tell you one thing. Which
Yeah,
is your
sir.
subject? Which is your subject?
Chemistry, sir.
Chemistry. Let me tell you, real learning is only after leaving the university. Real learning is only when you go to a particular industry. Unless that fellow joins a chemical industry, learning
Yes.
periodical table, learning periodic table in a class is something. And doing experiments with acid, base, salt, and understanding the catalytic agents and all those things. These are two different things. So learning becomes more and more when you do something with your hand, not simply listen the 60 minutes lecture. No, 60-minute lecture is not learning. Doing with hands is learning.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Right,
See,
sir.
education is not the amount of information that is put into brain and runs riot, undigested. The education is learning by doing, learning by practice, experiencing. You cannot understand Daffodil's poem in four walls of a class. You have to go to a jungle, you have to see beautiful flowers, you have to see nature, then only you can understand the poem of Wordsworth. Is it not?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes. Anything else? Coordinator, can we break for 10 minutes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now it is 4:23 in my watch. We'll again meet at 4:30.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
10 minutes break.
Yes. So participants, you can take a 10-minute tea breaks.
Hello, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Joining her.
We'll start now. काय करू नको. Yeah, shall we start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can start.
Yeah. See, and now in the last session, I want to give some importance to evaluation system. You know, one thing is lecturing, there is a flexibility, and evaluation system, assessment of the students. As long as there is a flexibility in choosing the subjects, then for each subject, how much weightage should be given, which is decided by the number of credits. Similarly, the grading system or assessing the student, as I told you, there has to be more stress on continuous evaluation. There is no pointing, in testing the memory, how much he remembers. For example, in history, when this world war was happened, when this incident happened, he says 1880. If the answer is correct, give him 1 mark. That type of testing of a student or yes, no type of answers, it doesn't help in testing whether the student has understood the subject or not. So whatever we have taught, whether he is able to apply it in practice, that has to be tested. Suppose he is an economic student, commerce student, unless he goes to a bank, unless he goes to a big mall, he will not know what really the purchase system and stock system, marketing strategy, purchasing strategy, stocking strategy, using different apps, that will only be known there. Basic things which are there, you can teach it from textbook, it is all right. But more learning has to be there only in actual workplace. So that also has to be given due credit. So for example, if you work some industry, bank, organization, government office, and for 16 hours, that is equivalent to 1 credit. 16 clock hours of learning activity. 16 clock hours of learning activity can be given 1 credit. And the fellow can be evaluated. For example, wherever he is working, he can be under some supervision. Teacher also can visit that place, learn what he has studied, and grade him there itself based on what he has learned there. So this much flexibility has to be there. Similarly, how you ask questions in the examination. Our generally tradition is explain, describe, that type of, essay type answers, essay type questions. It doesn't much give the meaning, especially in science and engineering. It has to be analyzed, design. What do you understand by this? How you have understood? What is your opinion, you ask? In that case, their answer will be not unique. 100 students will give 100 opinions. And then you can value the student, how he is communicating himself, or to what extent he has digested the subject, and that digestion in the subject, how he is able to express it, his opinion. So, of course, these things are not that easy. Traditional examination means if he has got this answer, you give him full marks. If he has not given that answer, you give him 0 marks. This type of 0 to 10, 10 to 0, this type of things will not do. There are certain questions, there are certain opinions, they can differ. Even student can differ from what is given in the book. What is wrong? Some opinion, something, he may not be able to agree with it. Give due respect to the different opinion of the student also. Then you can, of course, keep his answer script in front of you and ask him why you have written like this, how you have come to this conclusion. You can do this. I will give 1 or 2 examples of how a question papers can be twisted differently. And it can be made more interesting, and it can be made more testing a student, more and better way of testing. For example, normally we give true or false type of statement. We give a statement and ask it whether the tell whether the statement is true or statement is false. This is how a question is framed. In this case, what happens? Even if the student knows, or even if he doesn't know, arbitrarily he can give answer yes, 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 or arbitrarily he can say no, no, no. Luckily or unluckily, some of the things may become correct, and he may get marks, which are not the deserving marks, because he has not put his mind. Simply he has put 100 yes or no type of true or false type of questions are there. All 100 he says true. So luckily he may get some 40 marks or 30 marks or 50 marks or even 60 marks, which he doesn't literally reflect his own understanding. On the other hand, if the same question is reframed like this, state true or false. If the statement is false, correct it. If the statement is false, correct it and justify the correct statement. You see, same question was there. You have given a statement Earlier you were asking state true or false. Now, what I will say, state true or false. If the statement is false, correct it and justify the correct statement. Now what has happened? Unless student has understood the statement, he cannot answer now. His capability of understanding will now be tested. He cannot fluke the answer. So this is where you have to test the students. Since you are from different faculties, I will give you another example, which is from school, very primary school. Primary school. Just because, since this is a mixed gathering, I cannot give example from science or arts, from engineering. So I'll give a school example. See, when we teach addition and subtraction, generally we say, we ask students a question like this. If you go to the market with 100 rupees, you purchase the vegetables for 20 rupees. How much he should return you? Is it not? This is the question, simple question asked in the school to understand on the topic of subtraction. You went with 100 rupees note. You have purchased a vegetable for 20 rupees. How much he will give? So 100 minus 20 is equal to 80. This is the question normally asked. Now I can frame the same question in totally different way. In totally different way. What is that? I will say, you went with 100 rupees note, you purchased it 20 rupees, in how many different ways, in how many different currencies, shopkeeper can return you the balance amount. Now there are multiple answers. Balance is 80 rupees. 80 rupees, he will give 10 notes. If 10 rupees, 8 notes he will give. 5 rupees, 16 notes he can give. If it is 1 rupee coin, it will be 80 coins. So now there are multiple answers. Student will take more time to answer these questions. He has to know the currency. He has to know the permutations and combinations. He has to know so many things. It is addition, multiplication, permutation, combination. So many things he has to learn in the answer. Question was same. I have modified the format of question. Same thing is in Hindi poetry or English poetry. Instead of simply asking the meaning of the poetry, you say how this poet compares with another poet you know, or how his way of thinking poetry or expressing thoughts compare with some other poet in your own language. Your own language. It means you are teaching English, but you can ask him, do you know any other poet in Marathi or Hindi with whom this poet can be compared? Now, this answer is not given in any textbook. This answer may not have been taught by you in the class. You only taught that particular poem. But these type of questions will allow the student to think differently. This is very important. Can you think differently? Right? Another thing, people expect from the teachers that they should do sponsored projects, they should do research, even up to the PhD. Yes, the objective is you, as a teacher, you expose yourself to different practical problems. When you take a sponsored projects in any topic, chemistry, science, engineering, maths, or even social problems from government or economic problems, you really know how to apply what you have learned in textbook, how to apply it to the new practical problem. In this process, when you are implementing that project, you can involve your students. You can take their help. And if there is a major contribution of a particular batch of student, suppose you involve batch of 4 students or 5 students in your particular project, you can give him some credit. You can give him some marks for that project. So this type of flexibility in evaluation will totally change the atmosphere of teaching and learning. All that traditional things, classroom teaching, going to the laboratory, doing only 10 experiments, same experiments. In laboratory also, for physics, chemistry, why not design some new experiment? Instead of doing 10 listed experiments, which are there, ask him to design some new experiment. At least one experiment, he can design a new experiment and show his caliber and give him the credit for that work. Some marks can be given. So this evaluation process is equally important. Similarly, doing some sponsored projects in science, engineering, commerce, lot of funding is available from DST, Department of Science and Technology, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, AICTE, in professional courses, right? And even private industries, private organizations, they have many unknown problems to be solved. They need some manpower help to solve problem for which they are ready to give you 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs money. This will help a lot in your enriching knowledge, in your exposing yourself to new practical problems, and you will also, it will also improve your teaching capability, because you will be able to take example, those practical examples, and expose them to the students. So that is the why institutions expect teacher to continuously do research even after PhD. Or if you are not PhD, do and attach it to some practical problem from industry or from any organ. See, there are, even if you are not science student or engineering student, if you are a arts and social science students, there are some problems for which government does not have an answer. They want answer. Farmer suicide is a very big problem. Why they are committing suicide? Why farmers are unhappy? Can you study it from systematically, from psychology point of view, from social point of view, from finance point of view, from agricultural science point of view? All aspects can be combined. It is a multidisciplinary problem. And you can give an answer, or you can give a report to the government. District, if you go to a district collector, or if you go to a municipal corporation, they will have many problems for which they want solution. As an academician, you can give it. Sometimes they may give you some money, they may give you some funding, but sometimes as a social responsibility also, you can do problems freely. You can do solutions, you can give solution freely. Once they find that this teacher is good, he has solved my problem, next time when he gives you a problem, he will give you some 1 lakh, 2 lakh funding, and that will enrich your biodata also. It will help you in your enriching your biodata. So working on sponsored projects directly or indirectly help you in good teaching. Because practical problems are more important. When I teach a concept, just now I gave an example. Sum of 2 sides of a triangle is greater than third side. Just if you teach it like that, like a theorem, it doesn't have a value. But if you tell them that from going from one place to another place, if you want to go in a shortest time or shortest distance way, it is this theorem that is used. Uber taxi wala, that map, Google map, tells you the shortest distance or shortest path only using this theorem. Then he will be very happy that whatever he is learning, it is useful. Even additional knowledge. Try to know when you are using a microwave oven in your kitchen. What is the basic principle? You need not know that science behind it and other things. It is not necessary to know each and every details. But basic philosophy behind those electronic gadgets which we use daily, it is essential. Multidisciplinary approach is always good in learning. You may not be aware. Can anybody tell me? I'll tell you a small story before ending my lecture. Do you know who is the father of wireless communication? You know, mobile phone which you are using, or television which you are seeing, or the internet which you are using, Wi-Fi you are using, Wi-Fi. It is an example of wireless communication. There is no wire. The message you are getting, calls you are getting is without wire. Tell me, who is father of wireless communication? Who invented first this idea? Anybody? Anybody knows? Who is the father of wireless communication? Of course, no Google searching, please. Anybody knows? Yes, somebody says Marconi. Somebody says Marconi. Anybody else? You will be surprised if I tell you the answer.
Yes.
Marconi. Yes.
Yes, 83. You can unmute him.
23.
Sir, Jagdish Chandra Bose.
Jagdish Chandra Bose. Yeah. Did you Google search? Do you know it or do you Google search it? Yes. Hello. Did you know it? 23.
Hello, sir.
You know it?
No, sir. As you said, I searched by Google, but earlier I had idea that in the childhood we used to do.
Anyway, please see, you will be surprised. All of you will be surprised that 120 years back, or maybe more. No, I think it is 140 years back. 140 years back, Dr. Jagdish Chandra Bose, sitting in the lab at Kolkata, invented and practically demonstrated the principle of wireless communication engine. Somebody said Marconi. It is wrong. Marconi got false credit of this wireless communication. He got wrong credit, false credit. Credit has to go to Dr. Jagdish Chandra Bose. And now even world has recognized at world level. Also it is recognized and credit is given to Dr. Jagdish Chandra Bose. Why I have told this story? He is the same Dr. Jagdish Chandra Bose who practically demonstrated that, yes, what was the another invention? We have learned in school. What was the another invention by the same person? Anybody? We should know because this we have learned in school. All of us learned in school. What Dr. Jagdish Chandra Bose proved. He proved experimentally. Yes. Yes, plants have life. Plants have life. Correct, correct. Somebody has written, plants are life. Now you imagine a Jagdish Chandra Bose who works in the field of electromagnetic waves, electronics engineering, radio engineering on one side, and the same Jagdish Chandra Bose works in the field of botany on the other side. That is a botany subject. Plants have life. 140 years back, interdisciplinary work was done. One faculty is engineering, another faculty is pure science. Another faculty is pure science. So now we are talking about new education policy, national education policy, and freedom of moving from one branch to another branch. But 140 years back, Jagdish Chandra Bose himself did it. He worked in both fields, and both works are recognized at global level. His both works now are recognized at global level. So my message to you is, don't limit your learning and your teaching like putting some specs here like a horse. Look around. Thousands of problems are there. You can take problems for their world. If your eyes are open, if your ears are open, then you can choose the examples from your situation around and give it to the students to enhance their understanding of the subject. This is very important. Simply deriving the equation, telling the stories from the book, or omitting the textbook in the class is not enough. That is not learning. There must be innovation in teaching practices, learning practices, evaluation techniques, examination system, everywhere. Practical laboratory exercises, everywhere there has to be innovation. You must give a message. I am different as a teacher. My laboratory is different as a teacher. My college is different as an institute. My university is different, something unique, something innovative. That message has to be given. Then only people will recognize your standard. People will recognize your quality. Okay, we'll stop here. And again, I will invite some 10-15 minutes, some questions if you have, then we will close the session. We will have again some doubts or questions, and you can ask me from any side, any field. Learning, teaching, evaluation, system. Because discussion is more important in learning rather than one-way delivery. And incidentally, remember, lecture is delivered. That word delivery, do you remember? Delivery is a painful exercise. Lecture is always delivered. Delivery is a painful exercise. Delivery gives new birth. New life is created after delivery. Remember that. Lecture is delivery. Okay? So we stop here. Don't call teaching as a load. My teaching load is 16 periods. This language is hopeless, meaningless. We say my teaching load is 10 periods, 20 periods. If you call teaching as a load, you cannot become a good teacher. Teaching is joy. Teaching is enjoyable experience. It is not a load. Okay, thank you very much. Questions and doubts? Coordinator, open for question.
Participants,
Open for
you
question.
can unmute themselves. I will permit your you can unmute themselves.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, today I have a request. Question. Because I have a request for host, sir.
Please.
Host, sir. Because as he unmute, earlier I faced the problem of unmuting when you were asking me about the second question and response question you were asking me, but I was unable to answer you here. This is a request for host. Please pay attention.
Please ask.
Sir, second question was that earlier session.
Yes.
Is there any special provision for marginally marginalized class like women?
It is not clear.
Hello, sir. Am I audible? Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Sir, sir, is there any special provision in NEP for marginalized classes like women and different classes, especially women?
Special for?
Especially women and marginalized classes.
Women?
woman. मराठी समजते ना? मराठी बोलू का?
बोला ना, बोला.
म्हणजे या NEP मध्ये ट्रॅडिशनल जे डिफरन्स क्लासेस आहेत जसे की स्त्रिया आणि SC STs आहेत यांच्यासाठी काय स्पेशल प्रोव्हिजन आहे का?
ते प्रोव्हिजन म्हणजे काय? आपल्याला आपल्या गव्हर्नमेंटच्या पॉलिसीमध्ये ऑलरेडी महिलांसाठी बऱ्याच कन्सेशन्स आहेत. प्रत्येक आता ऍडमिशन मध्ये आय थिंक मला वाटते जवळपास 40% ऍडमिशन आमच्या इंजिनिअरिंग मध्ये.
अच्छा.
इंजिनिअरिंग मध्ये ऑलरेडी लेडीज साठी आहे. एक काळ असा होता की मी जेव्हा इंजिनिअरिंग शिकवत होतो वर्गात फक्त 3 आणि 4 मुली असायच्या. आता 60% क्लास मुलींनी भरलेला आहे. तेवढा फरक झाला बघा गेल्या 30 वर्षात. पूर्वी वर्गात 1 किंवा 2 मुली असत. आता मुलींची संख्या मुलांच्या संख्यापेक्षा जास्त आहे. सो ऑलरेडी शिक्षणाच्या क्षेत्रात प्रत्येक क्षेत्रात म्हणा ट्रिमंडस क्रांती झाली आहे. त्याच्यामुळे त्यांना स्पेशल हे द्यायची गरजच नाही आहे. त्याच्या ऑलरेडी त्या मुली आपल्या क्वालिटीच्या भरोशावर आणि आपल्या गुणवत्तेच्या भरोशावर त्या पुढे येतात आहे. ही एक म्हणजे आपल्याला सगळ्याला अभिमानाची गोष्ट आहे. तुम्हाला मराठीत कदाचित माहित नसेल. जगात भारतातली पहिली शास्त्रज्ञ इंडियन इन्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ सायन्स मध्ये प्रवेश घेतलेली ही मराठी मुलगी होती.
अच्छा.
पहिली शास्त्रज्ञ सायन्सला प्रवेश घेणारी मुलगी ही मराठी होती. तिचं नाव आहे कमला सोहोनी.
अच्छा.
ती हे तुम्हाला दुर्गा भागवत या लेखिकेचं नाव माहित असेल. दुर्गा भागवत नाव माहित आहे का?
हो डॉक्टर.
दुर्गा भागवत या साहित्यिका होत्या. शी वॉज ए व्हेरी गुड लिटररी पर्सन. हर सिस्टर Kamala Sohoni was the first girl student admitted in Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. She was refused admission, but she fought with the director and got the admission. She was the only girl in that whole college.
Okay.
Sudha Murthy was the only girl when she was admitted in computer science department.
Okay, sir.
He was,
Sir,
he was also refused admission, but she said she will manage.
mhm.
She said she will manage. So always the girls are given preference. And everywhere now girls are there. They are becoming pilot. They are becoming pilot. They are becoming metro drivers. They are running cabs. Everywhere girls are there. It's a really proud moment for all of us. Yes, anything?
Mhm. Okay. So thank you.
Right. Any other question? Even it need not be related to NEP. You can ask anything normal, but it should be related to education.
Yes, yes. Sir, stress management जो issue है, that is a major issue. I was talking about that one, but due to some technical problem, I was unable to talk.
Please.
Is there, don't you think that stress management related to knowledge of mind, it is very important to each and everybody and should be included in the syllabus?
No, I totally agree. All things related to mind, understanding human nature, human relationships, they all come as a, that's used nowadays they call skill development. So it is coming in that, because see, even if I may be a very big scientist, but if I am not able, if I am not a good human being, if I don't behave properly with my teacher, if I don't respect teacher, if I don't respect my neighboring student, if I don't respect my attendant in the laboratory, what is the use of my knowledge? It is useless. Therefore, good moral and ethical values are very important. Those will come only through your own example. If you are punctual in class, then only you have a right to ask student to come to class at 10 o'clock. If you go to the late, if you go late in the class, you have no right to ask the student why you have come late.
Yes, I agree.
If you are not doing your duty of examination properly, you have no moral right to ask student why you have not submitted assignment. Have you done your duty of examining the answer sheets in time, declaring the results in time? So first, look in the mirror, examine yourself, and then expect that world will change. First you change, world will automatically change.
Yes, sir. I agree.
See,
sir, my question was that
stress management, human behavioral, moral values. They are nowadays slowly, the yoga is being taught. Yoga is what? Yoga is stress management. Yoga is being taught, no?
Yes.
Yeah, yoga,
Meditation,
pranayam, exercise, sports. This is all stress management only. I mean, only the nature is different, but it is all making your mind healthy. Okay, next. Anybody else? If it is not there, coordinator can wind up the session. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to interact with you. Coordinator, if there is no other question, we can wind up. Please, all of you, as I told you, please frame 2 questions, multiple choice, within 1 hour of finishing this session and mail it to the coordinator. 2 questions with 4 options, multiple choice, and mail based on what we discussed today in last 2 hours, please, 3 hours. Please mail it to coordinator immediately after 1 hour. I am giving you 1 hour time. coordinator will collect those
Okay,
questions.
sir.
Coordinator will then send all the questions to all of you, which you can again submit it to as an assignment. Thank you very much. Coordinator, please close.
So on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, my special thanks to Honorable Dr. V.M. Pandharipande sir for sparing his valuable time and enlightening us. So with the permission of Pandharipande sir, I now declare that this technical session is over. Thanks.
Yes. And please collect the questions from
Yes,
the
sir.
participants. Yes.
Yes.